All right, welcome back, my dear students. So it's time for us to start creating a component, okay? So what I'm gonna do is right here in source, go to components and right click on it or whatever you want to do. And let's create a component called post.view. Remember, this is gonna be the component. Like I mentioned before, each of them is gonna have a template and you need to write this tag. And it's going to have a script and it's also going to have some type of style. Like that. Okay. So the template needs to have some type of root element unless they change it in the future. Sometime I'm recording this video, it still does need some type of root element. And I'm just going to say hello from here. I'm going to write a script here. What we need to have is some type of export here. Okay. So we're going to say export default. And in here, we can have whatever we want. We want to export data or we want to export methods, whatever we want to export, we can export it right here. So usually we export the template, but we have the template up here. So we don't need to do that no more. Now it's the data and we can export it doing something like that, right? But we're going to be using the new syntax of ES6. We're going to take advantage of that to make it clean. And we're going to be returning a function. Okay, so that's the first thing. And when we return this function, well, this function is going to return an object actually like that. Okay, so that's how it usually is. We got the template, we got the scripts and everything we want in between, right? Well, we got the styles too. But now in order for this component to work, you have to give it a selector. We haven't given it a selector. We need to give it a selector and we need to register it. So the way we give it a selector is by accessing this name property here. And let's call this post like this. I'm going to call it post like this example because I want to show you something. Okay. Now this is going to be, of course, the element, okay, that we are exporting out of here, right? So we need to go to app view to register that element so that way we can show it, because let me show you in our demo. Let me see if I have it right here. This component is the app view. Okay, that's where everything is getting. This is the main component here, app view. This is where we need to register the other components so that way we can show it. For example, this component right here, hello world, is right here. That's the component that's actually on the first, on that page. You see that it says ecosystem here, and if you look at it, it says ecosystem somewhere right here. So this is the hello world application. Add view is just like a placeholder type of guy that is going to take all the rest of the components. So we need to register a component. I'm going to register it right here. I'm going to change this to the name of our file, which is going to be posts. We don't need a view. And here we give it the name that we're using, which is going to be, oops, let me not be lazy and write it down. Post example. And down here, I'm going to say post example. Now here's the thing. When you want to write your tag, your element tag, or your HTML tag, well, it's this custom tag, right? You can write it in different ways. You can write it like this. Now let's make sure that we're running our npm run dev. Okay. All right. So you can have your element just written just like that. Okay. And if you notice, that's very similar to what we got here. Now this one is strange, right? This is just one element here. So that's another way of writing it. Let's come back here. Let's refresh. And you can see that down here says hello, right? You see that? Hello. That's what we are. We can take all that out from, we can take this hello world out from here. This is supposed to refresh. And now you can see that it says hello. Great stuff. Let's take this image out of there too. Come back there. Hello. Nice, right? And this is refreshing. This is the hot reloading. Webpack is actually helping us do all that stuff with the plugins. So this is one way of writing your custom element, but you can also write it like this: post hyphen example, like that. And now when it reloads, you can see that that still works. Okay. And now that's pretty cool. Now you can also take all this out, do a forward slash here. Let's cross our fingers. That is reloading on the back. And as you can see, that works as well. My preferred way of is actually having this. Okay. Now you have to register. You can't be using this type of syntax here. As you can see, that's not allowed. You don't want to do that. You can use the camel case here and use the kebab or kebab. I think it's called kebab. I know how to say it in Spanish, but I can't say it in English. Style, okay, with a hyphen. Pretty awesome. So now that's how you register component, guys. See you in the next lecture.